Right. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, sir. I can see it.
All right. So we are almost ending up our SQL class. Not almost. We are ending our SQL class today. So in today's class, we are going to learn aggregate function in SQL. We are also going to learn SQL constraints. I think Kishan was asking about this. We are going to learn this in today's class. These are the two things we are going to learn in today's class. So after our class, we are going to give some time for questions and answers. Maybe after that, I'll drop a link where you can continue learning. I'll drop a link where you can continue to learn SQL and other tech skills. So I'll do that after the end of the class. So now what is aggregate function in SQL? So we have the aggregate function in SQL perform basic calculations on multiple tables and return a single value as a result. So same thing we have in Excel is the same thing we have in SQL. So it's the same thing if you calculate, let's say 20 cells in Excel, it's going to return a single result. So that's the same thing SQL does. So the next thing SQL does in aggregate function is aggregate function ignores values when it performs the calculation, except for the count function. So when you're using your aggregate function, it's going to ignore all any null values except your count using the count function, like the count function we use in SQL. Sorry, the count function we use in Microsoft Excel. So the aggregate functions are commonly used with the select statement to generate summary reports from a database. If you want to carry out any aggregate function, you must start with a select statement. So that is the starting syntax in Excel. Sorry, in SQL, you must start with the select statement. So you can also use aggregate function with a group by clause. So you can also use aggregate function with a group by clause. So these are the top 5 aggregate functions in Excel in SQL. We have the count, we have the sum, we have the average, we have the mean, and we have the max. So we're going to look at it one after the other. So we have the count function. The count function in SQL returns the total number of rows from a database table that matches the defined criteria in the query. The count function can work on both numeric and text data type. So you can use the count function to count. Remember our department table we created? So you can use the count function to count how many departments we have. You can also use the count function to count how much the company is spending in terms of salary. So you can use the count function to do that. So this is a syntax for you to use for your count function. If you want to use the count function in SQL, this is a syntax you're going to use. So this syntax is going to count all the rows you have in your table, including duplicates. It's going to count all the rows, including duplicates. So this other one by my right is going to count all the rows excluding duplicates. If you have, let's assume in our department table, in our company database we created in our last class. So let's assume we have 3 departments. Let's assume we have 3 accounting departments. We have 3 people in accounting department. So in the department, you're going to include accounting. For example, Mickey Mouse is an accounting department. SpongeBob is an accounting department. Cinderella is an accounting department. So when you're using a distinct count, it's going to count only one. It's not going to include the other 2 departments. It's going to count it as one, moving all duplicates. So if you are using this other one at the left, it's going to count all the departments, including duplicates. So this other one with distinct count is going to count it and exclude duplicates. So that is the function for to count and remove duplicates. And this other one by the left is to count including duplicates. The next one here we have sum. So the sum function in SQL sums up all the null values in a particular column. It works on numeric fields only. So you cannot apply a sum function to a text or string data type like our company database we created in our last class. You can't use a sum function to count departments, to sum up departments. You can only use it to sum up salary, can use it to sum up quantity, can use it to sum up delivery days, and so on and so forth. So if you want to use the sum function, so this is the syntax for the sum function. So this one by my right, sorry, by my left, is the syntax for the sum function. So the one we have by my right is the syntax for the sum function. Also, if you want to, let's assume you want to sum up the salary for people in the accounting department. You can use the where clause to do that, to sum up salary for people in the accounting department. But you want to sum up salary for all the staff in the department, you use this syntax at my left. You want to sum up for a particular department, let's say in one department, you use this syntax at the right. So same thing with average function. So same thing with the minimum. So you can use your minimum in string and numeric data type. So this is the syntax you use to check the minimum value, the minimum order, quantity ordered, the minimum anything you want to do. So you can use this as a syntax for that. So the same thing with maximum. So the only difference is you must change the minimum to maximum, and you're good to go. So the same thing with average. So you need to change it. Sorry. So you need to change it to average. You need to change this syntax to average. The aggregate function, you need to change it to minimum or average or anything you want to use it for. You need to change it, then everything remains the same. So the next we are going to look at SQL constraints. So what is SQL constraint? SQL constraints are used to specify rules for the data in a table. Constraints are used to limit the type of data that can go into a table. So what it means is that we can use SQL constraints to specify what type of data do you want the database administrator or the database manager to input in your database table. So you can use SQL constraints to do that. You can also use SQL constraints to ensure that there is no column, there is no table with a null column. No table contains null. So you must include all values no matter what. If you try to keep it null, SQL is going to reject it. So that's one of the things about SQL constraint. Give you the ability or give you the power to manipulate your database to ensure that everything is being done the way you want it to be. So that's what SQL constraint does. So the first SQL constraint we have the unique constraint. So what the unique constraint does that it doesn't allow duplicate values. It doesn't allow duplicate values in your SQL table or in a column. It doesn't allow you to include any duplicate values. So every values there must be unique. If you try to input duplicate values, SQL is going to reject it. It's going to give you an alert message telling you that there is duplicate value in so column or there's a duplicate value in so rows. So you remember our data validation within in Excel, whereby if you enter a text or a value that you not specified, and SQL Excel is going to reject it. So that's the same thing with MySQL. MySQL using the unique constraint. Unique constraint, what it means is that it doesn't accept duplicate values. All the values must be unique. Meaning they must be different, no matter what, must be different. So it doesn't accept duplicate values. So the next one we have the not null constraint. What it means is that by default, if you are creating a table in database, in MySQL database by default, you can have null values. You can have null. A cell might be null, a column might be null in MySQL. When you are creating a table, it might be null. But when you are using the not null constraint, you can determine that particular column must not, that particular field must not be null. The database administrator must input anything, any text, any data type in that field. You must not leave it null. If you try to leave it null, MySQL is going to reject it. That is what the not null constraint does. So there are so many SQL constraints you can learn, but these are the two we are going to use due to time and due to time. We're going to learn these two for today. Like I said earlier, I'm going to share the links where you can go and register. Just registration is free. You don't need to pay. Registration is free. Just input your name and your email address, then you are good to go. You can start learning MySQL and other things you need to learn on the site. It's a very popular site. So everybody goes there to learn. So you're going to learn these two for today. You're going to learn the unique constraints, the not null constraint, and the aggregate function. So before we go to the practical aspect of it, any question? All right, so I'll stop sharing my screen. Alice?
Yes, okay. Mr. Bright, thank you. So, on the previous record video that I watched, so and now you're still mentioning it again. Now, where we have email, so email is supposed to carry virtual, not the intenter, meaning it has to be, text, not numbers. And then there are some emails that have numbers in it. They both have characters and numbers. So in that aspect, how are you supposed to do it? How are we going to do it? Because if you just leave voucher there, meaning if the email carries integer, meaning it will not accept as in. So that's I just want to be clear on that. Because my email, particularly, I have an email that has numbers on it. So in this aspect, how am I supposed to do it? Thank you.
Okay, the virtual data type can accept any character, can accept numbers, can accept alphabet, can accept characters. That's what the virtual data type does.
Okay, thank you.
So any other question? Okay, Chizoba.
Okay. Yeah, good evening, Mr. Brown.
Good evening.
Yes, you just mentioned that virtual can accept numbers and then alphabet or text. So does it mean I can still use virtual, let's say in account number?
Yes, you can use virtual account number, but I don't think account number contains alphabet. Is the account number I know, like the one they give in bank here in Nigeria, doesn't contain alphabet.
Yes, you just mentioned you made mention of that. Virtual accepts both alphabet and numbers. So I now asked, so can I use maybe virtual on under account number? Like if I put account number, I'll put virtual instead of integer.
Yes, yes, yes,
And SQL will accept it without giving error.
yes.
Wow. Okay.
Any other
Thank
question?
you.
Any other question? So okay, since there's no other question, so we'll go to our practical class. I'm going to share my screen, then open my SQL. Okay, Alice asked something about, okay, okay, I think the same thing just happened to me now. So I'm going to quickly share my screen, then walk you through on how to solve that, how to resolve that. So this is what we got, right?
Exactly, yes. This is what comes up.
Okay, so if something like it comes up, then what you have to do, you have to close your SQL. Then, oh, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so you have to close my SQL, then come to the search bar you have, then type services. You type services,
So sorry, that was okay. Services.
Yes, services. Then click on hit enter to search. The next thing you have to do, you have to scroll down to where you have MySQL. So you have to scroll down to where you have MySQL. You have pass M. Okay, look at it here. So you have to close. I'm sorry. You have to scroll down till we have MySQL L80. So you click on it and then click on Start. So it will start running again. So once you've done that, just how you close your normal application or system, you close it, then you show your screen back. You close it, then you open your SQL. All right, so that's how to do that. So before we start, can someone tell me the first thing we do after we open our database? Can someone tell me the first thing we do? So can someone tell me the first thing we do after we open our database? What's the first thing we do after we open it?
Sorry, I didn't hear the question.
Okay. I said after we finish working with our database yesterday, sorry, on Wednesday, on Monday. So
Monday.
what's the first thing we do if we want to work on our database on our SQL again? What's the first thing we do
You activate,
after
you
we
activate the
to do what?
you highlight use activate or yes, activate the database.
Okay. So
Created.
can you guess the syntax for that?
Use the name of the created database. tjar execute.
All right. So that's the first thing you do because if you try to do anything, it's not going to work out for you. So this is where we stopped in our last class. So we are going to quickly continue by the first thing we want to do. We want to count how many departments we have, how many roles we have in our table we created. What? Oh my God. Okay, let me quickly create this table again. Starting from here. What was that? Any question?
Yes.
That exists. Okay. So what's the question? Okay, all right.
Okay, my question.
Okay, absolutely. Okay,
Okay, my question is under update.
update. Okay, yeah,
Update, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so for example, I have a table created already, and probably on one of the columns there are no values, that is empty, they are empty or no values. So that maybe an organization asks me to impute, let's say, the name of a city, a particular city in that empty or no values into that no values. Let's say there are 5. Now, if I'm to include the name of the cities, let's say Abuja, I want to include Abuja into those no values, the country. I don't know if I don't know the syntax. Like, okay, let's say update employee. I'm talking about update employees. Set, where my confusion is where city equal to. Will you highlight the or will you write down the the I don't know, the column of the places that have, or the place that have the no values, and impute the Abuja in all of them? Or
Yes.
am I going to use where in or and clause? Is it in or and clause
Oh,
I'm to use? Because I'm
oh, okay. That in and that should be logical operators I'm talking about. But if you want to,
okay.
you're talking about logical operators, the where and the in clause. So if you want to update a database table, this set means the particular column that you want to update. This set here means the particular column you want to update, which is this column. So let's assume this is
Okay.
this is city. So you want to update this column to Abuja, right? So this is city.
Yes.
So let's have this is state. You want to update it to Abuja, which is this date we have here. Then you're going to tell
Okay.
SQL the particular column you want to do that, because if you don't put the where clause and then you just end your syntax here, you end your syntax here this way, and your syntax here, SQL is going to update everything in your column to this. SQL is going to update everything in your column to this, because it not tell SQL the where SQL should update it, particular column. So what this where means is that for you to be specific. Where should I update it? SQL asking you where. So now telling SQL where this employee ID. So where the state ID is this number. Change where the state ID is this number to this. So that's what the where clause means. The where clause means to be very specific of the particular column you're referring to. If you don't use the where clause, SQL is going to update everything in your database, and there's no going back for that.
Okay, but what if, let's say, the number of rows are up to, let's say, example 5, and with different IDs, maybe state IDs or something like that. So how am I going to impute the Abuja, the city, into different columns that has the null, or different rows, sorry, that has the null value something?
Okay, I understand what you mean. What you're trying to say is, let's assume this employee ID is for Abuja, right? Then
Yes.
another employee ID, this there's no duplicate, it's unique, is for Abuja, right?
Yes.
Is right?
And there's another one, yes.
So that means you need to keep on updating, you need to keep on changing this, what do you call it? You need to keep on changing the where clause, the state ID, you need to keep on changing it.
Okay. Okay, but is there no way we can do it together, like using, that's where I said we're in or
Okay,
and or
okay,
something like that.
using logical operator. Okay, okay. I think there should be a way for that. I think there should be a way for that.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I think there should be a way for using logical operator.
Okay. I hope you're going to teach us the logical operators, please.
Oh, okay. I think I intended to end the class today due to time. We are ending the class next week, so I'll do the logical operators on Friday, or I will share materials. So not materials. I'll share a site so you can go and learn the logical operators. Or if we still have time, we are going to work on logical operators today. That means we need to extend our class by 20 minutes or thereabouts.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. So the first thing we are going to do, we want to count how many columns we have in our employees table we created. So let's assume that you know that company is Microsoft. So you want to count how many employees or how many columns we have in our employee table we created. So we're going to use the count function to do that, like what we saw in our the presentation I did. So we're going to use the count function for that. So we're going to start with a select statement. We use a tab key. We say count. So like I said earlier, SQL has an intelligence. Yeah, the question. So like I said, SQL has an intelligence. So it's for us to pick which one we're looking for. So we go with the second one by using the tab key. You can't leave it like this. We are going to put asterisk in the middle. So what that asterisk means, we want to count everything in our column. We want to count everything. So use the asterisk. You now say from, using your from where? You say from employees table. So we now close our syntax with our semicolon. So we are going to quickly execute that. So we have here, we have five columns. We have 5 columns in the table we created. We have 5 columns in that table we created. We have 5 departments. We have everything we have in that thing is 5, including duplicates. So for to make it easy readable for someone to understand what this count means, so you can use what we call the. So let me copy this. Control C, Control V. So you can use what we call alias. So now we are going to give this column name a customized name. We're going to customize this name, right? So then we're not going to leave it like this. I'm going to give the custom name. You can say as anything of your choice. So let's go with as staff, for instance, as staff. So you're going to highlight and execute that. So we have that here as staff. So I'll quickly give it a name. So we have it here five columns, including duplicates. So let's try and check to count without duplicates, to count without using duplicates. So I copied it earlier. I'm going to quickly paste that and change this to distinct count. So where do you want to count? Which column do we want to count these things? We are going to count the department. So you close our bracket. So you're going to put the as here, alias here, as unique. So you give them like unique. Okay, so we can't give unique because there's unique existing. So let's give it that S at the end. We're going to quickly execute. So we have 4 here. So remember, so there's a duplicate. So let me quickly I'll do that to show you where we have our duplicate. So we have that here. So we have that. We have media. So media is duplicate. We have media here. We have housekeeping, accounting, audit. So we have media. Media is duplicate. So that's why it's showing us 4 here. That's why it's showing us 4. So if we count it, we have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if this distinct count is going to exclude, it's going to exclude duplicates. So you're going to pick one out of this media. You're going to pick one. So it is not counting, it is picking only one to count. So we move to the next function, which is the sum, function. So we go with our select, you say sum. What are we summing? What are we summing? We want to sum up salary. So let's say salary. I want to sum up salary. From where? From our employees table. So let's give it as alias. Alias should be staff salary. Let's give it staff salary. Alias is staff salary. So let's quickly highlight and execute. So we have 256.52. It could be naira, it could be pound, it could be whatever currency. So let's also assume that your boss asks you to say, okay, let's check how much we are spending for those in the media department or those in the accounting department. Let's check how much are we spending for those guys in that department. Let's really check how much are we spending for them in a month or in a year. So for you to do that, that's where you're going to bring in your where clause. So let's copy this again. So bring in your where clause. Where where are you looking for? I want to check department. So where department equals to media. So let's put it in a quote since it's a text. So let's execute that. So I'm going to execute that. So we have here 142.47. Let's use dollar or let's rather use naira. So we have 142 naira 47 kobo. So that's what the company is spending for people in the media department. So use the where clause to filter your syntax to know the particular column you want to sum up. So that's the essence of the where clause. If you remove the where clause, you're going to sum up everything you have on your table. So I'm going to use only one for aggregate function, which is this how do they call it? Which is the mean and the max. So just for you to change the max to mean and change the mean to max. So let's quickly check for max. So you select. So remember I said that the max can also work on text data type, text string data type. So let's confirm that. Select max. So where do you want to select? So let's check resumption date. Also check resumption date. Is it from employees? So we highlight everything. We have execute. So we have that here. So this is the so this is when the latest staff just joined the company, the max here. So this is when that's the particular staff just joined the company when they did their last recruitment. So on the 1st of January 2024. So you want to check that for mean, just change this max. I will change the max to mean and so on. So let's copy this and work on salary. So the highest paid staff there is earning 89.87 naira. So let's check the least paid staff. Let's check the list based staff. So we quickly change this max to min. We highlight and execute. So we have here there. So the list staff is paid $23.60. So we are going to quickly go to next thing we are going to learn. We are going to learn our constraints. So for us to do that, we're going to create a new table. We're going to create a new table. For us to do that, so can someone guide me on how to create a table? So can someone guide me on how to create a table? What syntax am I going to use to create a table?
Great.
Okay,
Create.
okay.
Yeah, the name of the table you want to create.
You know the table. No, you have to tell me what to do. You have to teach me now. So you have to give me a table
You
name.
said?
You have to tell me what to do.
Okay, I'm to give you a table name.
Yes, everything from start to finish. Yes.
Which table name I will give
Okay,
now?
let's go with customer.
Okay.
All right.
Then in open the parenthesis.
Okay.
Then you write the column that you want to add or create.
No, what I mean is that you should tell me what to do after I've given the. No, what next am I to do? What next? What is the next column? The next thing that I'm to write.
Okay, the next thing you're to write is the column. The column, maybe the first column that you want to impute.
Okay, okay, all right. So let's quickly work on that because we are going to try to work on logical operators. So let's quickly do this.
I had the data type.
So the data type is going to be what?
Yeah.
Hmm?
Customer identity. Yeah.
Okay, now.
Then
Okay, so now since we want to first thing we want to check the unique constraints. So unique constraints is it doesn't like duplicate, it's anti-duplicate, doesn't like duplicate. So now you can put your unique in any column of your choice. You can put unique in that first name, last name, email address, and so on and so forth. You can put your unique there. So now you want to put our unique in customer ID. So you don't want one customer to appear two times on our list. You want to apply the unique constraint to this particular column, the customer ID column. So we are going to use our unique. You don't need for you to type constraints. So you are going to just use unique on that, unique. So it's your comma. So you move to the next column. So let's quickly give it last name, Bacha. So let's give it 200. We go to first name. Let's give it 200. All right. You can ask your question.
can I ask the question? Why you?
Yes.
Okay. On this last name, first name, that's Vacha. You didn't put any constraint there. Can we use a not null because it's not empty?
Okay. So we are going to work on not null first. So the first thing we want to check among our SQL constraint is unique. All right. So that's the
Okay.
first thing you want to do. So you
Okay.
cannot put unique. You can put unique in first name and last name, right? But it's not recommended because you cannot. My name is Bright. If someone else's name is Bright, you cannot say that person will go and change his name to another name that is duplicate.
Yeah.
So you can't use unique in first name and last name. So the value where you can use your unique is in custom ID. So two customers cannot have the same ID. So it's not possible, but two customers can have the same name, but they cannot have the same what do they call it? The same ID. You don't put unique in things like this. Name, especially name. You can put unique in customer ID. You can put your unique in ID, customer ID, transaction ID, and so on and so forth.
What of email, sir?
Yeah, email. Even if you don't put email by default, two people can be the same email. But you can also put
Mm,
unique in your email. You can put unique in any of the column. You can put unique. You can apply unique to all the columns.
okay.
So let me quickly create. It's created. Let's confirm what we did. So successfully. So let's quickly insert. So we say insert into table, right? Insert
Yes.
into customers.
To continue.
Insert into customers. Values. Into customers values. So the first name is ID. So let's quickly give it an ID. Let's give it 1990. The next one is phone, email. Sorry, first name. So let's go with last name. And then let's give a random name HP, for instance. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. Email, HP man at company.com. So we close that. So we open our bracket again. So we give this. So we go again. We go with Mark. The next one is going to be John. Email. So let's try and see if our unique constraint is going to work. So let's pick one ID there. Let's start with 1909. So let's give another name. So you're going to give a name like Union. So the last name could be Mouse. So email mouse at company.com. So you're going to execute that. So you can see here that we have duplicates. You can see what is written here. So duplicate entry at 1909. Duplicate entry at 1909. So we can have it as duplicate entry at 1909 because we have two 1909 here. So we have duplicate entry at 1909. Everyone can see this. So let's change 1. Let's change it to 9. So we have our table created successfully. We have our table created successfully. So let's quickly use our select statement. So select everything from where, yeah, customers. And our syntax. So let's quickly copy everything, select it, highlight it, we execute. So we have it here. So remember when I said your voucher can contain number? So we have number here, we have character here. So this art is a character, we have number here 43. So let's refresh our schema. So let's click on this. So we have it here, email is voucher, which is the text data type. So we have it here, John 43. John is a text data type. 43 is a numeric data type. And then art is a character. So you can still come under voucher or you can still come under text. So this company.com, as you all know, is a character data type, is a text data type. So we've created our unique constraint. So we've finally done that, creating our unique constraint. So the next thing we are going to do, the next thing we are going to create before we go for questions is the not null, the not null. So we are going to quickly create a table for customers. We are going to, let's copy this to save time. We're going to copy this, Control C. So let's scroll down, paste it here, Control V. So we are going to change the customers to students. Change it to students. Change it to student ID. Change the student ID. So we're going to change this to not null. I'm going to change this to not null. Not null. So let's quickly create our table. So like I said earlier, you can apply not null to any column of your choice. You can apply not null to any column of your choice. So let's quickly create our table. We have that there. We're going to quickly copy this. Copy. Control V. We're going to change this to student. Right? Student. So since we created our student ID not to be null, so let's quickly erase one student ID and see what SQL is going to do. So we've done that. So let's highlight everything. So let's try to execute that. All right. So we can see the error we have here that column count doesn't match values count at row 2, meaning that we are not to leave this, this second row blank. We are not to leave it blank. We are to fill in anything, any number. It could be 0, it could be 1, but it must match with the data type. So you can see it here, giving us an error. So you can see it here, giving us an error. So you can't leave it. So it doesn't match the column type. So you must input something. So that's what the not null constraint does. So let's quickly input any random number that comes to our mind. That's the number that comes to our mind. So we quickly input that and let's quickly select and execute. So we have that there. So let's quickly copy this, Control C. So let's go down, paste it here, Control V. So let's change this to student. So let's highlight everything. So we have that there. So yeah, let's quickly go to. So any question before we move to the next one? Any question? Any question? So any question before we move to the next? Any question? Okay.
Okay, Mr. Bright. Well, the whole thing is looking like film. I don't understand anything.
Okay. All right. So who was saying we should do how do they call it again? Logical operators. Is it your Chisoba?
Sir?
Who was saying we should do logical operators? Is it you or Chisoba?
Okay, it's me,
Oh, okay,
Chizoba.
okay, okay. All right. So Alice, we have like 2 minutes to answer your question.
Okay, so no, it's not like I have a question. When you understand things, that's when you'll be able to know what you understand, what you don't understand. So the whole thing is just looking like so new.
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
just trying to follow, sir.
I understand because is kind of new to you, so that's how it is. So I had that same experience when I was learning Super for the first time. Since it was new to me, even up to now, I'm still learning, so it's still new to me. So you must like keep on practicing it every day. So that's how it is. So
Yeah.
it looks new. So that one is normal. Looking is not is normal.
Okay, thank you. And for the stuff, I've been able to rectify it. Thank you.
Okay.
That stuff that comes up. So I follow your leading. It's done. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. So any question? Lawam, you haven't spoken since. Any question from you?
No question, sir.
All right. So since there's no question, let's quickly work on logical operators because we have it and work with time. So let's quickly spend a few minutes to work on logical operators. So I'm going to put up my camera and then start working on logical operators. So this for this logical operators, we're going to make use of our employee table. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is so we are going to start with our normal assumption. So let's assume we want to check for. So let me bring out the table again so that I can know what we want to check out for. Okay. So Control C this, Control V. So let me highlight this. All right. So now for logical operators, so let's assume we want to check for staff who are in the accounting department. or who is in audit department. So you are going to use logical operators to do that. But if you use the select star, this is going to show you for everybody. So logical operators helps you to check for a particular thing in your database table. So let's as you want to check for people in the accounting department or people in the housekeeping department and so on and so forth. So in SQL, everything starts with select. You can't run away from it. So we go with our normal select. So we say select everything, our asterisk from. So you must always include this from which table. So remember when I said you must always include the name of your table. So let me refresh my schema again. So we have here table 1 is customers, the second table is employees, the third table is students. So you must tell SQL which table are you selecting it from, which of the table among these 3 tables we created, which of the table. So you want to be we'll be working on the employees table. So you say employees, employees. So we're going to use our where clause. So where department. So where department is equals to what? So let's say I want to check for those in housekeeping or accounting or audit. You say audit, for instance. So we close with our semicolon. So let's execute that. So we have it here. Rex is in audit department. So let me quickly write something here if this will work out. Let's give them logical operators. So we have it here. So we have Rex. Rex is in audit department. You can also change this to media. I will change this to media. Highlight, execute. So you find out that we have 2 people in media department. We have Jane Fred. We also have Manuel John. Both of them are in the media department. So the next thing we're going to check. So let me quickly copy this, Control C, Control V. All right, so let's assume that you want to check for people who are not in the media department. Want to check for employees who are not in the media department. So this one we check for employees who are in the media department. So we have them here. So the next one we want to check, for those staff who are not in the media department. So you are going to use this syntax. We're going to use the where. So where not, we say apply not here. So where not department. So where not department is equals to media. So what this means is that those people that are not in the media department, so this is what we call logical operators. It doesn't come in a normal good English we speak. It comes logically somehow. It doesn't come in normal good English. So let's quickly select this, highlight it. We want to check for those who are not in the media department. So what is this is what this syntax means. We want to check for those who are not in the media department. We have the where not department is media. So this one is where department media. Those in the media department is this other syntax. While the one I highlighted just now is for those who are not in the media department. So let's execute that. So we have that here. We have Mickey Mouse, Fry John, and Joy Rex. They are not in the media department. So how are we sure that what we are doing is true? So let's quickly copy this. So let's quickly select this. So we can see it here. So it didn't include John Fred and Jane Fred and Emmanuel John. So it included the rest. So that is it. We are going to copy this again. We're going to paste it. So the next thing we are going to do, so we are going to check for, let's say, I'm trying to think of what we can check up next year. So let's try to check for, let's see, okay, so let's try to check for higher dates. So let's try to check for higher dates. Okay, question. Okay,
Okay,
Alice.
Mr. Bright, quick one. Okay, what if you want to check? Let's say we have a number of people that started work in 2023. We want to know those that joined the company in 2023. How do you check that?
That's what I was about working on.
Sir.
That's what I was about working on.
Okay, okay.
So we're going to use the where resumption date. Where resumption date equals to this. So let's pick one resumption date here. So there is no duplicate resumption date. So we are going to pick any random resumption date here. So let's go with 2023. Let's check Anne. So we want to check the person's department and department. And department is equals to what? Let's say housekeeping, right? So we run our syntax with this. So let's execute this and see what we are going to get. Okay, I think there's an error. Okay, I actually don't understand why this error is popping up. So let me select this again. Okay, all right, I've seen. Okay, doesn't spell correctly. I didn't spell my housekeeping correctly. Yeah, so let's maintain the spelling and select it again. and see we still have that error. So we have it here. So I did a mistake in my displaying of my housekeeping. I didn't put a P at it. So that's why the error popped up the first time. So we have it here.
So in this musical, sorry, sir, that means spelling is very crucial. If you don't spell well, you won't get what you want.
Yes, yes, spelling is very crucial because if you do mistake in your spelling, so I show you know that I did mistake in the spelling of this housekeeping. So when I was running the syntax for housekeeping again, I spelled it correctly. So SQL didn't find out that correct spelling in my table. So SQL didn't display anything because that particular word was not in my SQL table, one of my SQL tables. So everything was bad. So that's one thing with SQL.
Okay.
So the next one we're going to look at, we're going to look at the or logical statement. So let's copy this. Control visualize the or statement here. So where department department is equals to media or department department is equals to audit. Okay, question.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. So let's execute
Yeah,
this.
so okay.
Okay, and go on.
Okay, my question is still on this resumption date or even any other using any of the column. Let's say, and that's where the my first question I asked fell into. Let's say I want to get the resumption date of maybe 1st of January 2023, 2nd of January, different dates. Let's say you are asked to get different resumption date of about five different employees. Now, how am I going to use like where resumption date is equal to, am I going to use in joining all of them, or and like where a resumption date in brackets each of the dates, or am I going to do resumption date equal to each of the dates? I will join them with and.
I understand what you mean. So that's logical approach. I think I need to really carry out the research on that your question you just asked. So just like the question I think Benita asked in the last class, if we can is it do what again? If we can enter the rules or something like that. I've forgotten that particular question, but when I did the research on that, I think that wasn't achievable. That wasn't achievable. Okay, she asked if you can do something without mentioning the column, do something, is it update or thereabout? That
And get null values, as in display the nulls of a particular data set. Any field that is null, that there is no value in it.
yes. I tried taking that, but I don't really think that is achievable. But I think you must mention a particular column. So back to your question, Alice. So I'll do research on that, then I'll come up with the answer on Friday. I understand what you mean. You are asked to if you are asked to enter find a resumption date for more than one staff, how are you going to do the syntax for that? right?
Yes.
Okay, so I would carry a research on that and come up with it on Friday. So, like I said earlier, SQL is a continuous learning something, not something you just learn and go and sit. And that's why I'll quickly share the link where you can go and learn, carry out your research on your own. So now that they see,
So in this table, right? If you want to just display like for 2023, resumption date for just 2023, it should be first, second, or anything. How do you do it?
I think you do it this way. Let's try this syntax out. So we have that there. So this is going to show you all the people that resumed on this particular day. So like I said earlier, there's no duplicate date in our table for people to resume on the same day. So there's no duplicate date on the table where people can resume on the same day. But if you have a duplicate date where people resume the same day, you're going to have all the date they're being displayed. So if you check here, there's no duplicate date. All the dates here are unique. All the dates we have here are unique. So if you are trying to check for an employee that resume on a particular day, so this is a syntax for that. So
How
again,
about year? Is it that we now have a different column for year to be able to
if you have a different
display
column,
for like the entire 2023?
yes, if you're having a particular column for year, it's for you to change this where clause to that particular column. So change this where clause to date. So you change this resumption date to year, where the year, then you put in the name of the year. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, yes.
So this resumption date is date like a full calendar date. So that's why you have here
Mm.
resumption date. But if you want to check resumption year, if you don't have a column for year, you're not going to have an answer for that. We're not going
Oh,
to bring out solution for that. So if you have a year column, so where you have this where clause, where is resumption date. So you change resumption date column to year column. Then you input the name of the year. Sorry, the year, you put the year here, and then you close your syntax and you execute. So
so there's
our
no any logical that can say between this range to this range, like 2023 first January to 30th 31st December 2023.
I think there is
Like
SQL
a range.
code. There's something for that. So let's work on that. So for us to work on that, let me quickly view my table so that I know the year to pick. So let's do that now. I'm going to say select asterisk from employees. Our where clause. You say date, so you do our resumption date with the name of the column. So resumption date between.
Mhm. Between
So between what? Our date. Let's say between 2020,
between 1st January 2023 to 30th
1st January.
of
All
the
this in
month.
our table. But if now on our table, it won't work out. First of
Oh,
January 2023. So we close it and you mentioned which other date again?
31st December
That
2023.
The
As
first
people
December
that join in that year
is it
in
and or two?
2023.
because there's not 31st December here.
No, I think within that range you should
Okay,
pick out
okay,
the,
Mr.
the available dates. Is it between this particular date to this date?
Yes.
Those dates are that range. You should display it.
No,
That's
no,
what I
you
mean.
must display the date on your table. It must be the date on your table.
That's what
Okay, okay, Mr. Bright, what I was asking, I was thinking if it is something like Excel will only give us what will be between this thing, not until you have it there. So I was thinking it's going to extract what we have. As long as there's a number in 2023 and a month, it's going to extract those ones that joined in 2023.
Okay, so let's try what
Do
is
you
showing.
understand me?
Yes, I understand what you mean. So let's try that and see. So let's give a date that is not on our table. Let's see. So give me a date,
31st December 2023.
2023, 31st
Yes,
December,
31st.
right?
31st December.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's close it and see what's going to happen.
Okay, sir, sorry. Before you highlight, is it supposed to be an or two? Because if you are using between 1st January 2023, should be two.
No, it's and between this and this, not between this to this.
Yeah, okay, okay, all right.
So let's try your two and see what is going to happen. So there's no two there. There's no syntax for two.
Okay, there's also in, okay,
Yes.
okay. Let's do with it.
There's no two for that.
Okay.
So let's execute and see. Wow. So I actually got that.
Okay.
Actually got that. Actually got that.
This is what I was talking about. At least we have people that joined. It has extracted people that joined in 2023 for us.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, okay,
Yes,
okay,
this is
okay,
what
okay,
I was
okay,
looking
okay.
at.
This is what you mean. All right. Okay, okay.
Yes, this is what I meant. I wanted to know the people that joined in 2023. So
Only.
now we have them here. It doesn't matter the particular date. We just wanted to know those that joined in that year.
Only. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
So it works.
All right. So I think that should be the end of it. So any other question? I think this
Ah,
class
no, sir.
is very interesting more than Excel class.
Sir?
I think the second class is interesting more than Excel class.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
No, the second class is interesting. It's interesting. I find it
Ah,
interesting.
I felt Excel is still okay. Oh.
No,
This one is looking like magic in my eye. How to know the to, where, and from.
But
This
who
one.
was saying we should try how do they call it? We should try